Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. इस वीडियो में बात करेंगे आपके स्नैप के स्ट्रेटजीज के बारे में. I've got a lot of 99% LS by the way, 98, 99 पूरा मिक्सचर है. And they have fortified snap यार, तो इनसे बेटर आपको कोई बता नहीं सकता मेरे ख्याल से. Real life experience. We'll start with snap strategies. Who wants to go first? How do you prepare यार? 10-15 दिन बाकी है. कैसे करना है?
I would like to start off with how working professionals can start with
please,
the
please.
SNAP preparation. So I started my SNAP preparation around the month of September. And because I was working, I had very less time to dedicate to my preparation. So I used to prepare either 2 hours before my office or 2 hours after my office time. So that used to be 6 to 8 or 10 to 12 at night. And I used to give mock also during that time only. But once the admit cards were out, I tried to give the SNAP exam during that time slot. Like I had got 2 p.m. as a time slot, so I used to give mocks during the lunch time. So that is how I prepared being a working professional.
Okay, so अभी ना वर्क एक्स के बाद ना I want शुद्धो to give little idea. भाई ये टॉपर है, इंजीनियर का टॉपर है, and ये फ्रेशर है, इसने फाड़ा है, मतलब प्लेसमेंट भी फाड़ा है और स्नैप भी. थोड़ा आइडिया देना how they should be preparing now.
So basically, I was in my final year of engineering. So I was already preparing for my placements, final placements. That literally helped me a lot, clarify my concepts. But for Snap, what I basically followed was I knew that navigation was allowed. So I wanted to maximize my score. So I made sure that during the mocks also, I could navigate each and every section, find out and just grab the easy questions and maximize my score. That was my strategy. And I also like, I'm not from a verbal background. So I made sure I concentrated on reading a lot of newspapers, and that literally helped me in my grammar as well.
Adding on to what Shuddho said, one of the USPs of Snap is the fact that there's no sectional cutoff, right? So
Right.
this is one thing that we can capitalize on. If we know our weak areas, if we know our strong areas, we can focus on our strong areas more and navigate between the sections and customize our time accordingly. Yeah.
Okay, let's do some sexual strategies. Gayatri, you have anything to talk about?
I just wanted to talk about the strategy.
Please, go ahead.
So I was also a fresher, but I took a gap year of 1 year. So I would like to tell my strategy which I had. So because I've taken a gap year, we have a lot of pressure, emotional pressure, because it's that time that you have to prove yourself, you have to go into one of the top B schools. So that pressure was on my mind. So what I did was I segregated my time equally to all the B schools entrance exams. For example, CAT, SNAP and MAT, my CAT, ZAT, TISNET. So I gave all the B school entrance exams that were out there, and I tried to strategize that I have to give mocks of as many mocks of the exams as I could. So because of that, what helped me was to clear all the concepts. So because I was also preparing for CAT and also for SNAP, it really helped me to clear all my concepts, and my basics were clear. So because of that, any question was thrown at me, I was able to solve it. So if you're taking a gap year, it's very important to clear your basics, especially in Quants, because Quants was very difficult last year for Snap, and it was not expected that Quants would be that difficult. But during the D-Day, even I was shocked, and it was difficult for me to digest that shock. But yes, somehow I managed. But that was possible because my basics were clear. So that is important.
Okay, I'll add one question here पे ना for the audience, by the way, for the students. You can probably cover that. So you said ना you were shocked because Quants थोड़ा difficult था. So mostly ना Snap का ऐसा फंडा है कि बच्चों को ऐसा perception है, if you're not good in Quants, you should be taking Snap exam. Is that right?
So this is the point I wanted to cover. I also, like Gayatri has mentioned, gave all the competitive exams for MBA. And the one thing I did was that after CAT has been done, like most of the aspirants can relate to me now because 2 days back CAT was over. I took the previous year papers of SNAP, and then I analyzed what kind of pattern and what kind of question paper is going to come. CAT is entirely different from SNAP. You cannot even compare the difficulty levels of it. It's quite challenging when you look at SNAP. You have to complete the entire paper in just 60 minutes. You might think the question is easy, but you'll not able to be solved if you sit for 1 hour and you will start solving all the 60 questions. Can't be easily covered. So the first thing I did was to analyze what kind of question paper will be coming, and then I boiled down to the fact that these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, and this is what I have to prepare for and give mocks for.
What I would suggest is when you are attempting any section, just if there is a time based test, for example snap is a speed based test, so try to attempt that section which your strength lies. So for example for me verbal was my strength, so I would attempt verbal part first and I would attempt as many questions as possible in as least amount of time as possible, so I would save time for difficult sections later, and then I could come back to those questions which I would have left for, because I would not have solved them earlier. So that's how we can approach a question.
I would like to tell about one thing which I planned before going for SNAP exam. So I planned that first I would be solving quant section, then the LR section, and then the verbal section, because I thought that quant was, no, I didn't thought quant was my stronger area. But when I went inside the center and I was giving my paper, I realized that quant is very tough. So instead of investing my time in solving the tough questions first, I think I should change my strategy at that point in time only. So I switched to LR first, logical reasoning, and then I did my verbal, and then I came back to quants. So be ready, be active, and think, and then start your paper. Don't just abruptly start your paper. Have a strategy with which you're going to solve the paper, and then start.
Feel that this is a general tip that I'll give everyone, that it's very easy for us to get invested and attached to a question, especially when we are going into the examination thinking that this is going to be a strong area, this is going to be a weak area. So be prepared to be surprised, be prepared to be shocked at times, right? And try to find that and it's okay as well, right? When we go into something expecting a particular paper and we get something else, it is quite overwhelming. So compose yourself, regain your emotional balance at that point, and then tackle it head on. And one more thing I want to add on is what Athar said about tackling your strong areas first. A method that I used, which was very helpful, was called the bucketing method. So basically, bucket your topics into 3 categories: easy, moderate, and difficult. Focus on your easy areas first, then go to the moderate ones, and then last only you should focus on the difficult ones. Even if you crack, even if you uh, take all the 60 questions, and if that's not correct, right, you're only going to get negative marks. So that's one tip that I can share here.
This is an aptitude test. So basically, you need to be street smart. It's a 60-minute test, 60 questions. So use the options properly. As you know, all 60 questions are MCQ questions. Don't just read the question and start solving. See the options. If they're close, go into solving. If not, then utilize those answers. Try to eliminate options. That saves a lot of time. And trust me, that is what makes the last final difference. That is what separates the 95% trial ones from the 99 ones.
I would like to share my kind of strategy and my perception of bucketing. Like Gayatri has told that she had quants first and then verbal and then LR. And Pooja has mentioned that she has bucketed into easy, hard and medium. My type of bucketing was like I used to bucket the topics separately. Like I was good in alphanumeric series. So this is one part I'm going to definitely attempt. I'm good at algebra, I'm going to attempt. So I kind of bucketed this kind of topics, that I'm good at these topics. Be it any question that will come from this, I will first go and attempt them. No matter the first question is easy or not, I'll scan the entire paper. I'll look for these questions in the topics I am interested in, and I will whip up that questions first. And then later I'll start again rescanning the paper and go in the easy, hard and medium method. So this actually helped me cover all the questions from the topics I was good at. So this will also kill the fact that you are not guilty that, yeah, I know this question, but time was not there and I left it. I didn't face that, because whatever I knew, I covered it before.
There are also some questions which you can, if you identify them, you can solve them by making a diagram. For example, family relations question, or you can make Venn diagrams. So if you are able to identify those kind of questions and you are able to make diagrams, you can easily solve them. So what I would suggest is, when you are attempting, let's say, logical reasoning, you look at those questions, and let's say there's a question on direction, that a person is moving north, then west, then east, and you can just create a diagram and solve it easily. So I would recommend that solve those questions first, make diagrams easily. If there are some questions like in sequencing, there are some questions where it might go a little bit complex, so you can leave them for later. So you can use this approach and you can get a better score in LR.
Adding on to what Athar said, my strategy in LR was to go through the questions beforehand, before picking any of the question, and I would try to understand from which topic it has been asked and understand how much time it will take. So during my slot of the SNAP exam, there was 1 or 2 questions which I knew that I cannot solve in even 2-3 minutes. So I choose to leave it. I didn't even start solving solving those questions. So that is also one of the important strategies, that you understand how much time you will take to solve that question.
Also, when we talk about the cons section, so we have 20 questions, and it's not possible to solve all the 20 questions of cons, because more time is required to solve cons question, because you need a lot of calculations to be done. So one strategy that I built was, I made sure that my calculation is very fast. For that, I work on my tables, I work on the speed math strategies and all. So I recommend this candidates to please work on that, because that helps a lot, especially in snap exam. And second thing, identifying the cons questions which are easier, because some con questions are so hard that if you go and try them, it will just waste your 2 or 3 minutes, and which you can't afford. So first, when you see the cons question, identify the easier ones, solve those, and then go for the hard ones.
One more thing that I want to highlight here is, because we talked about quant, we talked about Ella, we talked about English as well, right? So elimination strategy is one thing that you can follow. It's not necessary that we'll get the answer through selection strategy. In that case, try the elimination strategy. Eliminate those options that are not at all feasible.
So we are coming to 5 cities this year, that is Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, Lucknow, and Ahmedabad on 2nd and 3rd of December. The details are shared on our social media pages, so please go and follow social media pages and come and visit us. We'll be solving all your doubts that you have regarding SNAP preparation, also regarding GEPI, whatever processes, whatever doubts you have, you can come to us during CWS. We'll be sharing and we'll be solving your doubts. Also, we'll be sharing different strategies and tips to crack the SNAP exam. So please do visit us. It's happening on 2nd and 3rd of December. Follow social media